Now, like I said, a person can't think when they're in a stress response. The thinking part of the brain just shuts down. So what you want to do is bring up just enough of the feeling that you can show them the shift, and so that they can still learn the process. That's the objective, so that they can learn it and they can use it again. So have them come up with a picture that's going to represent that, that feeling or that thought or that whatever it is that's causing distress, the trigger. Have them just create a picture of it and then get them to change the picture, because changing the picture will change how they feel. Might be a picture of physical discomfort. You probably learned this in hypnosis school. It's a way to shift pain. So they might have some tension in the body, maybe a tightness in the gut or some pressure, constriction in the throat, something like that. You have them create a picture. Choked is a picture. It's a picture of an emotional state. It might be a picture of an emotional pain, a feeling that they just don't like. That's a great thing to work with. For example, waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's a picture of fear. And feeling crushed, that's got an image that goes with it. It's a picture of being hurt. It might be a sound, the sound of someone's voice. It might be the sound of their own voice, or it could be someone else's. But whatever it is, give it a shape, give it a color, give it a size, give it a symbolic representation, and then change that. And get them to involve all of their senses so that they're seeing it and they're hearing it and they're feeling it kind of all at the same time. Sometimes it might even have a taste or a smell that goes with it. And then what you can do is locate that image, that picture in space. Where is it situated? Is it inside or outside? Is it to the left or to the right, in front, behind? Get a sense of where it's located in space so you know where it's coming from. So now what you're doing is you're working with the dream. You are using the language of the subconscious mind, which is symbolic. It's feelings and images. And that's how memory gets stored, as an image that contains the emotion. It's the emotional charge that actually holds the image in place. So the image holds the perceptions that are associated with the event or those aspects of the event. It's not really the event itself that we're working with. We're just working with the client's internal representation. This is really an important fact to keep in mind, or an idea to keep in mind, because we're not dealing with the facts of an event. And if a person wants regression so that they can discover the facts of what happened in their past, can't do it, because that's not how memory is stored. We don't record things like a video camera. We record our impressions of the things that happen. So they may be correct or incorrect. So we're working with the client's internal representations, and that image is simply a personal symbol that holds the meaning that they gave to it at the time that it happened. So whatever it means, they've decided how it's going to make them feel. It's going to make them feel good or bad. It's going to make them feel safe or threatened, happy or sad. It's all based on how they interpreted those things. So if you change the picture, you're going to change how they feel. Now, the idea is to give the client back a sense of control. That's what they're after. You're teaching them how to picture how they feel, and then showing them how they can take that picture, how they're picturing things. That's the thought. So you're showing them, first of all, how they're thinking about things. They're thinking about them as an image, and then you're showing them how they can actually change that. So you could have them change it by moving the picture a little further away, make it safer for them, just getting some distance from it. Or you can shrink it down and make it smaller, which makes it less threatening. That's a really neat technique to use if you're dealing with a violent offender, for example, in a scene, or a parental figure. When you're a child, you're 2 feet tall. Everybody is a monster. Everybody's a giant. And if the person that hurt them in childhood was, let's say, a parent, you can shrink them down, make them smaller so they're less threatening. So that's just a technique that you can use in the regression, because it's about empowering them and changing their perceptions. It's okay to do that. You can make it like a photograph, put a frame around it. This is a way to contain the image. Gives them more control if it's contained. You can change the picture from color to black and white. You can shift it from black and white to sepia tone, make it like one of those old, outdated photographs. The subconscious mind gets the metaphor. Oh, it's outdated, it's old, it's in the past. And that's what we want to do. Process the image and put it in the past, because that's where it belongs. You could even add something to it. This is another cool technique, and that's just like add some humor to it. You can make the image silly by adding circus music or cartoon voices. You know, if the person that is threatening in the event, if you change their voice, you know, put them on helium like Donald Duck. Get them laughing about the image, even if it's just a recent event. If laughter is a great relief, and it's a great way to change a person's state very quickly. Now, I like to ask the person what would make this picture feel better, because they've got the answers inside. So I'll just ask them, what's going to make this picture feel better for you? And then let them experiment, let them play around with it and see what happens. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But engaging their curiosity is moving them into the relaxation response zone. So get them playing with it and finding what works for them. Finding their own solutions empowers them. And it can also generate insights, which can be very useful. Okay, so changing state is one of the simplest techniques you can use. You don't need any special training to do this. Just be willing to experiment and play, and let the client come up with their own solutions. The worst thing that can happen is nothing. And, you know, even that is useful information that you can use, because you can always try something different. If that doesn't work, great. Okay, so what else might we try? At the very least, you're teaching your client to work with the images. You're teaching them to be curious. You're teaching them that they can create the change using their own mind. And this is just going to improve their ability to work with you when it comes to doing the regression work, because you've already got them working with images. It's just going to make your job that much easier. That's good news, isn't it?